What's up, guys, and welcome back to the pod. Y'all, it's almost that time again. It's almost time for All-Star Tryouts. It comes up so fast. It's like we just started the season yesterday. We've been competing. NCAA happened, and that was chaotic. And Summit's about to be here. End of the year events are here. And then it's time for tryouts all over again. And I know, trust me, I know as a coach that's been doing this for a long time, how stressful that can be. And today we're going to talk about that, guys. So let's talk about the stress of tryouts. Tryouts aren't supposed to be stressful, but they always are, right? It's because you've been working so hard, getting all these new skills, getting ready to compete that layout this year, do that full, and you want to really level up so you can show off those skills that you've been working super hard in, and you know you're about $1 million into it in private lessons, moms and dads. So of course, you want something to show for it because nobody wants to do the same level again when they feel like they've got all the skills. And I get that. And every gym is different. And I think the stress amplifies when certain programs, and especially a lot of the competitive programs, do what they call mini routines. And a mini routine is where it is purposely designed for you to be tired, to show the conditioning of your skills. A lot of times you do like a standing tumbling pass, then you do a running tumbling pass, then you do jumps, then you do another standing tumbling pass, then sometimes you do a motion section to show the endurance, and not only that you can do the skill, but that you can do the skill when you're tired. So the mini routine always freaks kids out because it's really easy to do a tuck in a private lesson on a Saturday at 11 o'clock when the air conditioning's hitting you just right. But it's totally different to compete that skill in a routine when you're super tired after stunting and jumping and doing all those things. So that's why a lot of programs implement what they call the mini routine so they can test your endurance and your performance. And do you really have that skill mastered instead of just being able to do it one time when you're not tired? So I think a lot of times if you've been in tryouts or you've heard your kid come home, you hear them say, they asked me to do my double full and I landed it, but then they asked me to do it again. And a lot of times coaches do that because they feel like you kind of got lucky and you barely landed that. Or sometimes you can show that expression on your face of like, ooh, that was probably the first time she's ever landed it. So let me see it again. Especially these larger programs where new athletes come in and you're not really sure who they are. It's different if you've been in the program and you know, but sometimes you get new kids and you have no idea what they really can do. They might just have had a really good tryout. I think another thing that really amplifies it is the competition with your peers. I think that, you go and you try it at a program and you're probably trying out with a lot of your friends. So if, Sally's a lot better than you and you know she's going to move up, she's going to make that level 5 team, I think the anxiety sets in that you might not. So I think that's also really stressful. And that adds to the fear of failure because now you don't want to be the only one that doesn't move up when all your friend group is moving up. But that's just part of it. And I think all those things add to the stress of tryouts, even though as coaches, we don't want it to be stressful. We want you to come in. We want you to come relaxed. But all those things we just mentioned always add the stress because it is important to you, right? As an athlete, you're going to try out, your kid's going to try out and you want them to do their best and they want to move up levels or they set these expectations. And a lot of times when you fill out the tryout sheet, it says your goal team. What's your goal? Right? What's your wish list? What team do you want to be on? And everyone's got that dream. And no matter how realistic or unrealistic it is, you still really want it. This leads in to the hot topic, switching gyms. It's always controversial. It's always a big deal. It always feels like it's all about you. When you want to switch a gym, everybody's mad at you. I get it. It's hard. Change is hard. And I think what a lot of coaches sometimes don't realize is that change and for that athlete and that family to decide they're going to switch gyms is a really big deal. Like they talk about it, they pray about it, they have family meetings about it till they decide like, okay, I think it's time to switch gyms. And a lot of people don't know, like maybe like when is the right time to switch gyms? I think it's one thing if you're like a level 5 or 6 athlete, or level 4 athlete, and a lot of gyms don't have past level 2. I remember when I switched gyms when I was at a small gym, level 2 was the highest that they had, and I was doing fulls and doubles. So they didn't have a level for me. I think that's a lot of times understandable, even though the coaches will feel like, no, she could totally do one more year level 3, but they're doing fulls. So they go to a different gym because it's time to level up and they feel like they have the skills and that gym doesn't have that level for them. That's one time, a really good time to switch gyms. I think another time is when you just feel like, I'm trying to word this right, when you feel like you just haven't had the best relationship with that program. Sometimes coaches can get toxic. Sometimes you feel like you were trying to be a good base and a good flyer and the coaches just never saw that in you. So you feel like if I switch programs, maybe there'll be a fresh start. Maybe there'll be some other coaches that can really like boost the morale of my athlete to get them where they need to be, because that stuff does happen. And it's never intentional, but I do think that sometimes when you're with a coach or a group of coaches for so long, for 6, 7 years, and it's like they just assume I'm never going to be a good base because maybe I have struggled in the past, but it's hard for them to view me in a different light. Sometimes you as a family decide that's a good time to switch. I mean, it's hard. I get it. And switching gyms is difficult, but only advice I have to you is just to always be honest with your gym. Let them know, hey, we love you. We just feel like we need more growth. We're not growing here anymore. You know, we always support you guys and we just want to try something different. Hopefully your gym will be honest with you, or at least hopefully your gym will be supportive about it. And, you know, y'all have built that relationship over time, so they're going to wish you the best. But I know it can be difficult switching gyms, and it is always hard. You know what I mean? Sometimes you think the grass is greener and it's not, and sometimes it is. Sometimes you get over there and for your athlete, they blossom and they kill it. And honestly, as a coach, that if our program isn't best for you anymore, I at least personally hope that you find that gym that is going to give you that opportunity that you're looking for. You know, and a lot of times people switch because they want to level up. They're leaving because they feel like, man, I'm not going to make level 3 here, so I'm going to go to this gym and make level 3. And most of the time that doesn't happen. Or maybe it might, because they have a lot more level 3s for you. I don't know. But, you know, a lot of people ask me, like, when is a good time to level up? When do you know if you're ready to level up? Cheer's gotten hard. And it's so much more about the mastery of this skill and perfection and just knowing your routine so well and being a well-rounded athlete that we have to normalize repeating levels. I think so many people get stuck in this rut where they feel like it's like school. You go to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Then you repeat fourth grade. And what's everybody doing? Oh my God, did you hear about Julie's daughter? Like she failed. She has to do fourth grade all over again. Like that's not how cheer works. Just because you repeated level 4 doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I mean, you have to make sure that you are well-rounded in every single section. So many athletes are not in this elite stunt in level 4, not in the jumps, not in the standing tumbling. They do a running layout, they front spot, and they're kind of in the pyramid, but they have a full, so they think they're ready for level 5. Like, you might make that level 5 team, but you're probably still not going to do anything. Are you okay standing behind the stunt? I mean, I don't understand. You want to make sure that you are an asset in every single section of that routine before you move on. And again, repeating levels, there's nothing wrong with that. If you see those posts every year, these kids that are like on Panthers and World Teams, and it's like my journey, mini 1, youth 1, junior 1, senior 2, like they repeat the levels to get to where they are. I just think it's so important to master a level, because I always tell our coaches, there's nothing worse than putting an athlete on a team that they're not ready for, because it creates such a bad experience for everybody. They don't have a good time. They're not in the sections. They just stand around and mom's mad. And then on top of that, they're in a position to where the coaches are frustrated with them because they don't have the skills. You can't be mad at the kid because you're the one that put them on this team. Even if mom complained, even if you told her, hey, she's not going to be in a lot of the sections. Come December, she's going to be mad she's not in a lot of the sections. So we have to protect our athletes by not putting them on teams that they're not ready for. And I think parents, you have to also understand that too, that your athlete needs to be a well-rounded cheerleader, and you'd rather her, at least I'm not speaking for you, maybe you don't, but I would think you'd rather her be a part of the entire routine and in every section than just be on the level 5 team and standing behind stunts. I don't know. I just think that repeating levels has this stigma, and it shouldn't, because I think it's so important for you to get that experience. But tryouts are going to be here, and we always wish everybody the best of luck. And I tell everybody this, right? God has a plan. We might not know it. Try out at your gym. Feel good about it. You always hear the trust the process, but for real, trust the process. Make the team. It's one season. You're going to cheer in a lot more seasons. Be confident in the level that you're competing in and just feel good about it. Have a great experience. Be competitive. Be in all the sections. And don't stress about tryouts. You're going to try it at a place where even if you're new to the gym, they want you on their teams. Now, maybe it's not exactly where you want to be, but they want you a part of the program, right? I don't really know any gyms that's like, we don't have a place for you. You tried out, you're not making any team, right? You're coming to them. They're excited to put you on a team and to have you be a part of that program. So just be excited. I know you're going to be nervous because you love it. And that's okay, right? Being nervous and being anxious about something is because you care. But try to relax. It's going to be a great year. I can't wait for tryouts. Summit is coming up, and you guys are going to do awesome. So see y'all soon. And I hope you make your teams next year that you really want to make. I really do.